Welcome to my house. I want to talk a bit about vaping and what this channel is not about. So come vape with me. I'm using a new device. I've just bought this. It's a mini curve. There it is. I got it from Totally Wicked. And to be stupid about it, I wanted the baby because for me, small is beautiful. I can cup this in my hand. It's virtually invisible. If I want to vape places, because I'm naughty, I vape everywhere as a sort of protest. I do it stealthily or not even discreetly, but I do it as a poke in your eye. Stuff you. I'm vaping here, even though it might say not vaping, no smoking, and all these awful regulations that we have now where you can and can't do things in places. So I have vaped in the most amazing places secretly. It's a kind of dare. It's sort of the feeling, I think, that kleptomaniacs get when they manage to nick something from a shop, even though they don't need it, and in fact they're perfectly well off and they don't need it, but they get a sort of thrill by doing it. So in my old age, that's how I get my thrills. Vape where I'm not allowed to. The only place I haven't vaped is in church, actually in a church, but I have vaped in the rooms in the building outside where they've got I don't know, pamphlets or books or something. I've had a little secret vape there so that I can say, up yours, I can vape anywhere, because in fact you can. That is why making vaping illegal to do everywhere is such a stupid legislation. But if you vape discreetly, you are not in your face blowing clouds and clouds of vapor and making people frightened of us. So I'm not pro clouding out in public, because a restaurant, say, where everybody is clouding and the vapor is building up in the air, is frightening people. So if you're out, vape discreetly. If you're out, vape secretly. At work, how the hell would they know if you're not having a quick vape in the loo, if you're not allowed to vape at work? So vaping is something that gives me power over them. It gives us power over them, because there's not a hope in hell that you can ban vaping by a legislation. Anywhere where you're not allowed to vape, you can actually discreetly vape. If you double breathe when you breathe in the vapor, it is taken up by the lungs and very little vapor actually comes out of your mouth. So you draw, double breathe, and you can't see it. In fact, I think Jack Vapor has got something that doesn't emit clouds of vapor. And I remember buying that. I used it for a wedding I went to. I used it for the wedding because I thought we weren't allowed to vape there. But in actual fact, there were other vapors there, all vaping discreetly. And what disappointed me was they were all using little cigar-likes. But if it helped them, if it filled the gap between cigarettes and made the event pleasant, because they weren't longing for another cigarette, they could have a nice discreet vape on their cigar light, that's good. I approve of that. The health aspect of tank straight to lung worries me. I've tried sub-ohming. I do sub-ohm occasionally, and it worries me because it's a huge amount of vapor that I'm drawing straight into my lungs. And I wonder actually, even though the nicotine level is very low, but I wonder what this belt of vapor is doing in my lungs. Whereas if I mouth to lung inhale, I've got some control on it, and that's the way I used to smoke. I never used to sit on my cigarette and go straight in to my lungs. Somehow ladies didn't do that. That was done by people, men if you like, but ladies didn't do that. Not with a cigarette. And I feel uncomfortable doing it with any device. And the other thing I feel uncomfortable about is blowing out clouds of vapor when other people are in the room. So I still have to go, I suppose, because I'm old-fashioned and it's my training of manners and things, I still have to go and sub-ohm somewhere secretly, because I don't like to blow out the clouds. I don't like making clouds when there are other people around, because they look at you in astonishment, and also it seems to fill the air with more fug if you are doing it a lot, and that is the finger that they are going to point against vapors, the same as they did telling smokers that our second-hand smoke would make you drop dead even if you inhaled one little fragment of it. So clouding in public, I don't like. Clouding in groups where you're all doing it and it's an agreed adult entertainment, I'm for. I myself wouldn't like to sit in a venue or a room where everybody's clouding, because it'll take away my little pleasure from my small inhalations of my favorite e-liquid. So I do small. I like small. I think small is discreet. It's not in your face. My devices don't look like weapons of any kind, or I don't like the big emphasis on masculine. Us ladies have got to have something to say in the world, and I'm not joining the crowd of clouders. I haven't joined the crowd of building your own atomizers. I couldn't be asked doing that. I like to buy the thing so that I don't have to sit around with my funny hands that don't work properly, with little screwdrivers and God knows what, making my own atomizers. I'm sure it's fun for men, and maybe it's fun for lots of women. But I am of the generation where feminine is female and masculine is male. I haven't yet bought into this thing of same sex and women equal to men and interested in things that men are interested in, although some women are, and that's fine for them, but I'm not. So on this channel you will never find that kind of stuff. This channel is for older people like me, who've got problems with arthritis in their hands, eyesight maybe, who want to just comfortably substitute vaping for smoking so that they can go on being happy instead of a persecuted minority that have been treated unbelievably badly by society. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for joining my rant. I feel better now, and thanks for vaping with me.